These kids are dancing and smiling and clearly enjoying life. The reason for this happiness is that they are part of a phenomenal organization called Heartbeat.
Heartbeat started really and was inspired because of Mr. Nelson Mandela, who I think inspired all South Africans at that point in time. And I can remember just after 1994 listening to him, pleading with South Africans to say the struggle is not over. Now there's a new struggle, and that's a struggle against poverty, and it's a struggle against AIDS. But there was a lot of talk about AIDS. But the talk slowly but surely started filtering through. What about the families? What about the children? And then there was a prediction that in 2005, there will be more than 2 million children orphaned by AIDS. And that really touched my heart. And therefore I decided, well, there must be something I can do to assist these children. And that's really where Heartbeat was born.
My name is Tabang Matibe. I'm a social worker in Heartbeat. And my core responsibilities are the psychosocial support program, administering the activities within the program. And some of those activities are support groups for the children as well as the grannies, toy libraries, youth camps, academic library, puppet shows, and I myself particularly am hands-on with the therapeutic part of it.
The children that Heartbeat reach fall into 3 different categories. Either those are children that are potential orphans, and what we mean by that is it's kids staying with parents that are terminally ill. So we already get involved in the lives of those children when we identify them, so that there's a smooth transition. The second category of children would be children that live with grandparents. Their own children have all passed away, and they're taking care of, anything between 4 and 15 grandchildren. And then the third category, the most vulnerable of these children, are kids living in child-headed households. This we find a lot of these children, especially in the urban areas, where there's no family members, there's no relatives, there's no grandparents, there's absolutely nobody to take care of these kids. And for them, our interventions are geared to be most intensive, specifically for that group of children. Many of the children in our programs do have younger siblings, and these siblings might be, under the age of 6. So they need to go somewhere when the older kids go to school. And what we have is we have partnerships with other organizations that train up these creches into proper preschools where we integrate these kids. So typically what the child would do is they would walk with their sibling, drop them off, and then our kids would go to school. Our kids after school would go to after-school centers where we have after-school care programs, and these are programs where there's support groups, where the kids receive assistance with their homework, where they socialize together, where they play in sports, where they receive food garden training, where they do drama classes. Kids also get a meal at the centers first thing after school, because there's nothing you can do when you're hungry. And then at night, they would go and pick up their siblings again, and they would go home. So then there's certain chores involved. I mean, they need to ensure that the siblings are bathed and they are fed. Then they go to bed. But we try to minimize that kind of parent tasks as far as we possibly can through the preschools and through the after-school centers.
One of the after-school centers is located in Tembisa, a large township just outside of Pretoria.
This is Tembisa. Welcome. I think the majority of our children are from your informal settlement. On a normal day, you'd get like 75 children at the center. It would be so packed. There'd be no space to move around. There'd just be kids everywhere.
The girl in the yellow is Caroline. Caroline joined Heartbeat when she was 14 years old.
Without education, there's no way you can go. We must just teach them. They must respect education. They've got an opportunity. Heartbeat is there for them. I think with Heartbeat, we make a huge difference in our community.
Well, after my mother's death, life became very hard. Sometimes we slept without eating any food, and I couldn't get clothes, so I was suffering very hard. I felt that I had no future anymore. I want to be someone in the world. So I was very happy when Heartbeat came on my way. I was very happy because I know that now my future is no more doomed away now. I've got a brighter future.
How old are you?
I'm 15 years. Yeah, I started learning about life now, so. Yes, I'm going to get there. I'm going to work hard to get there.
Yes.
But we have opted for specifically community-based care, and for a couple of reasons. The one, because of the sheer numbers of orphans. It would just be impossible to set up enough institutions to take care of more than 2 million children. But on the other hand, you don't want a child to live in an institution. You want them to live in a community. You want them to be like other kids, to have family members, even if it's not their real family. But family is somebody that takes care of you, that's there for you.
What I feel Heartbeat is doing, which is great, is the psychosocial support that it also offers to those people. When you come into the center, you get kids that are just bubbly. You know, people normally come into the center, for example, they come to Heartbeat, you know, at the after-school center, and you tell them, I'm working with orphans, and they expect to see kids that are filthy. They expect to see kids that are depressed. They expect to see kids that are so withdrawn. But you come in here, you know, after these kids have been through a process, a series of activities, which is whether it's support groups or toy libraries or youth camps or puppet shows, and you get kids that are kids that are naughty, kids that are loud, kids that are bubbly, kids that are, you know, so outspoken, you know, and that is the success of a psychosocial support program within Heartbeat.
Oh, my name is Franz Mahlaki.
Franz Mahlaki.
Yes, because we were poor. My sister, she decided to leave me alone in a shack, okay? I was living in a shack. Nobody has bought me some clothes, nobody bought me some food to eat. So I was leaning on empty stomach. So
You were 12 years old when you were living on your own, eh?
yes, I was 12 years old.
Wow, that's so young. Were you scared?
Yes, I was scared. At the middle of the night, oh, I was scared. But I used to pray that God may help me to be strong. So I like to become a project manager of Heartbeat because of now they had really changed my life. And these social workers, they are my role models, you know. They had really changed my life, and then they love me. They are like my parents, okay.
The fact that in Africa there are so many child-headed families, so many kids taking care of siblings, is not a good thing. We don't have alternatives because we do not have adults to take care of the children. So what we need to do is we need to mobilize adults to fulfill certain parts and certain roles that parents would have fulfilled. That's why Heartbeat appoint care workers, and these care workers visit the kids at home. They assist them to cook. They assist them with discipline. They help the grannies. Many of our kids stay with grannies. They help the grannies to take care of the children.
I'm taking 150 kids, which are 32 child-headed.
Wow, that's a lot of kids to be looking after.
It's a lot of kids, yes.
And has this project helped a lot of kids?
Yes.
Brought a lot of happiness?
Very happiness. They know me.
Really?
Really.
So you are the big grandmother of this place?
Yes, yeah. If they come, if the older ones, when they come, they will come to hug me. All of them. I am their granny.
We made the decision that these kids should stay in their own homes, where children would say to us, but there's no place like home. They don't want to be split up. That is their safety net. They don't want to stay somewhere else. All their memories of their parents are in that specific home. So we're doing the best that we can with what we have in a very bad situation. Despite that, we have kids that matriculate, that are well balanced, that are more driven than any children that I've ever seen. It's not ideal, but it's the best that we can do, and it does yield positive results.
Someday we know